Welcome to Gold Derby. I'm senior editor Denton Davidson here with Danielle Brooks, who plays Sophia in The Color Purple. Your performance has earned you a Golden Globe nomination. It just earned you a Critics' Choice Award nomination. So, how are you taking that in?
Oh my gosh. I'm just continuing to remind myself to breathe. It's been a whirlwind, I'm in awe that these moments are hitting me in this way. It's like this is I just say it's I feel like it's my time. And you know, it makes being in the valley and having all of the ups and downs, all of the no's, all of the rejection feel worth it. So I'm just now blossoming, and or I feel like I'm like living in the fruits of my labor season. Like I put the work in. I've been maintaining this work for a while now, and here we are getting to celebrate and have all of these flowers. So it's a good time.
And you earned a Tony nomination for this role on Broadway. What was it like to revisit the role of Sophia in this new way for the film?
It was great because the thing about theater, and especially my version, it was the stripped down version. When I did the revival in 2015, it was just a bare stage with wood and wooden chairs and our imagination. And the audience really had to go on that journey with us to tell the story. We didn't have a dinner table for the dinner scene. I didn't have a real baby. We were using sheets that we folded up as babies, So we really truly did have to go off of the imagination, which is cool, but what I found it can be very limiting because also with theater, after you do previews, you lock the show. We call it locking the show. And so I did this character, played Sofia for a year, and there's so many new discoveries that come up, working with the cast, and you just start to see things differently when after saying a line a certain way for so many years, like all of these discoveries merge, but you cannot act upon them because that could change the whole show. And so it can be very stifling in the creative process. So getting to do the film version and actually having all of the elements, being in Georgia and having the Georgia sun hit my face every day and being surrounded by trees, and slave houses that were behind us. And the reason I say trees is because I was so reminded of like the brothers and sisters that might have been lynched on those trees. That adds to the story, you know what I'm saying? And so now I'm in the elements. I get to use all five senses. And so now working with Blitz on this, it felt like I had a limited amount of paints to color this story with, and color this character with. So that was a lot of fun for me. And I got to really use all of my creative juices because he was also so open to hearing what the actor wanted to bring to the character.
He's such a visual person, and when I spoke with him, he said he sketches everything. Like before anything he does, he sketches it, and he also looks through everything through a hip hop lens because that's sort of his background. What was your experience with him, and notes he would give, or what kind of back and forth do you remember having with Blitz?
It was collaborative. And I love that because he's already set what he wanted, right? He already laid that out to his entire crew through the vision of drawing out every um scene. He expressed that to not only the crew but to the cast too, because when I was in my audition process, the first thing I did was speak with him for an hour and a half, talking about his vision, talking about the character. So having already baked that in, when we actually got to be on set, everyone was able to bring in their ideas. Nobody was hindered. Like allowed what I think the best idea in the room to win, you know, and that's so refreshing when you work with an artist like that, because the ego is removed and now we get to play, we get to bounce off each other. And that's what I love about what we do as artists. It is supposed to be shared. It is supposed to have discoveries. And that's what he brought into the space. And like he made sure that he gave us, there was like an open door to come to him and talk about character if we needed to. You know, he came by our dressing rooms and talked. I would see him sometimes. I really think he did this because what he was embarking on was such a huge undertaking. There were moments that he would just be on set playing his guitar in the corner when, like, you know, they were changing out the set. He would just do that, and that was so cool to me because I was like, this is an artist. You know, he knows music inside and out, and he knows what he's doing visually inside and out. And so it was really inspiring.
Sophia's such a big personality. She's powerful. She won't be controlled. And she has such a great arc in the film. How much fun was it to play a woman with so much tenacity and control at a time when that wasn't really common, or expected for women to speak out in that way?
Sophia is one of the most radical characters in our story. You know, we're coming off of slavery, right? These are people who are first generation of free people. And so it was such a radical act for her and Harpo to build their own home, to have 5, 6 children, like having Black children when they were killing our children. And as we even saw with Mr. taking our children away from us, to have that was a radical act. To say to Miss Millie, I'm not going to work for you, I'm going to do my own thing, was a radical act. And so I believe that I have already gotten so many gifts from this character, which I can explain and break down to you, but there's still so much more that I feel as I speak about it that I'm going to learn about myself and the power that I possess within myself. And that's the exciting thing about what this is about to do for women. I truly think this is gonna like set some women off in the best way to stand firm in whatever it is they need to stand firm in, and be like Sophia, where you walk and move and talk and be in this world the way you want to be in this world and not the way society tells you you have to move. But for me, when I did this in 2015, I was really faking it till I made it when it comes to my confidence and who I am as an artist. I was really not believing in myself. And it was playing Sophia every night, 8 shows a week for a year, that helped me to learn the power that I possessed. Because, like you said, I was Tony nominated for this. And when that happened, I could not believe it because it was my first Broadway show. And I'm coming off of so many no's in this industry in theater. And I'm from South Carolina, where I haven't seen too many examples of that. I was feeling like, why me? No way, not possible. And so I learned my power through playing her. And then in 2022, now this character playing Sophia, when I did this last year, I was learning how to own that power. She was showing me that it's there, like how to live and marinate in that power. So it's been the best gift in my life, outside of my family and outside of outside of my family. Artistically, this has been the best gift I could have ever been given.
You know, she has some classic one-liners as well. And some go back to the original film. And one thing people are talking about that they love is maybe that extra syllable or two that you add to the word respect. We love that. talk about that word and how Sophia brings levity and some joy to the film at times when it feels a little heavy.
That's been like that's the highlight of playing Sophia. Like she does carry so much joy. She actually, people think she's like this angry Black woman. She's really not. She's not looking for trouble. She goes to get Celie to take her kids to get ice cream. Like she's happy. That's when she runs into Miss Millie, and Miss Millie starts trouble with her. You know what I'm saying? So it's such a joy to be playing someone that holds and possesses that within her. And the kind of actor that I am, it's all about specificity for me. Like I don't only look at the words, I look between the words always. I look at the pauses, the commas. And in this particular instance, I looked at the word respect and I said, I'm going to use it. I'm using all of my words because I feel like there's so much opportunity if you really give yourself the time to explore the text, to play. And so I used that moment, my Juilliard training, to do that
I love
and to
that.
find that.
And talk about Hell No. It's what does that song mean for Sophia, and what did you want to inject in that song to make it so powerful?
Yeah, so when I first played this Denton, that scene, I've always thought it was about putting Celie in her place.
Mm.
And when I did this with our version, this movie version with Fantasia, and now having Marcus Garley as the writer, and she says to see Sophia, which we didn't have in the original revival. So I hope this is not confusing because it's back and forth, back and forth. But there was this one line that was added that Marcus Garley added was when she says, I told Harpo to beat you because I was jealous of you. That line opened so much to my character that I didn't see before, which was not that she's trying to put Celie in her place, is actually to teach her, to share with her the story that she's not shared with her. So I'm going to teach you how to be a modern woman, how to be as I keep saying, a radical woman. And so she does that through sharing her story. The first thing, all my life, I had to fight daddy, my brother, cousins, uncles, but I never thought I'd have to fight in this house because what Sophia and Harpo had been doing for so long was trying to break generational curses. You know, we even see that with Harpo, which is not, it's in the book and you don't really get to see it, but Harpo lost his mother in his arms. Like he saw her dying in his arms, you know? So it's like in all of the hurt and abuse that he witnessed from Mr. with Celie. So these are two broken people trying to do everything they can to start the building of generational courage and generational strength. And so I just have always loved that scene. And I feel like when we talk about, when you ask like what is it that we're going to be bringing to the audience, I think that's what it is. It's, we talk so much about like generational curses, which is a true part of being a human. You will suffer and have trauma from your family that gets continued, but we also have to be reminded of that generational courage that we have to continuously fight our oppressor, to continuously fight that noise that says I'm not enough, I'm not worthy, whatever it is for you. I feel like that's what people are going to get out of Hell No, that you can say hell no. You know, there is another way.
And the film's ultimately about sisterhood, beginning with Celie and Nettie, and then transitioning into Celie with Sophia and Shug. What has that been like for you working with Fantasia and Taraji, and then going through this whole experience and spending all this time together?
It's been great. I have been lucky enough in other projects like Orange is the New Black to build sisterhood and to know that it's possible. But sometimes you feel like, will you ever get that again in your career? And this has proven yes, 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 and yes again. I love those women so much. They're super talented, but more than that, we all have been able to lift each other up during this moment, that we're having. I also want to continue to bring into the conversation Felicia and Posse and the work that she has done in this film, because she's an up and comer too. And she's been that little mouse that's walking around watching every scene and just like hanging out when it's not even her scene and time to be on set. She's been observing and watching, and that's so cool to know that she's getting to see that it is possible to have sisterhood in this industry and to support one another in this industry wholeheartedly without feeling like someone is taking something away from you and the light that you shine in your heart. Like, you can continue to shine your light and continue to elevate somebody else's. And so that's what's been so cool about this journey. And I just hope that young girls can take that, if they're in whatever field you are in, but specifically in this field that makes you feel so competitive and that it's only can be one. It's okay. It can be more than one.
And just for you personally, I was at a screening that you had attended for Q&A, and when you walked out, the audience just roared. I mean, they really responded to you and your performance, and you got very emotional. I mean, the tears started welling up in your eyes. You've been applauded before on Broadway. What about this makes you so emotional and that response from the audience to this film?
Let me start by saying nothing we do when it comes to success is done by itself. Nothing. And there's a lot of people in the background that have helped me to be in the foreground. And so in those moments, I'm just grateful because the work of my parents, my godmother, my team, everybody is benefiting from this moment. But it's also a moment, Denton, for me to celebrate myself and be okay without finding a way to be like, no, I'm not enough. No, you're not, like, it's okay to celebrate yourself. And it took me a long time to learn that because I've been taught my whole life to be humble and to like, which is a good thing. Humility is a good thing. But sometimes that humility, so much of the humility has like left me feeling very small and not appreciating these moments. Well, I've always appreciated the moment, but just like feeling like I shouldn't be celebrating the moment. So now I'm learning to celebrate the moment, to be okay with people giving me flowers. That is okay. So I guess it's my own internal battle that I've been fighting. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, but I'm working through learning how to like take the love and not feel like, no, I don't know what it is, why we as humans do that, but I don't know if you can tell me, please tell me.
Well, you know what, Danielle, take it in. I mean, this is your time to shine. Own it, take it in. Everyone go see this film. It opens December 25th on Christmas Day. Congratulations to you, the entire cast and crew. Congratulations on your nominations and whatever the award season has to come for you. And thanks for chatting with Gold Derby today.
I love Gold Derby, so thanks for chatting with me.